Everyone's just got to give me a second because I got to get I got to get the advertisement at least pulled up as soon as I can find it. I'm not sure where it's at. Still not sure. Not sure where it could have been, but it's some kind of commercial I Cooper put together for the show. I just can't see it. I just don't see it any. Maybe this advertisement. Well, I just don't see the advertisement for the show. So I guess more or less we'll just have to start without it. But if you're in need of CBD products, one of the best companies, in my opinion, it's on the market today is the Harrelson's own CBD company. And it's a company started by, he was a film star named Brett Harrelson. And you might know his brother's name's Woody Harrelson. If you ever watch, if I'm trying to think of one of the movies that I'd seen Woody Harrelson in, it's been so long since I've even watched the film, but the Woody Harrelson movie, it's been a real long time, at least since I've seen one of those. Woody Harrelson, what's he been in? What's Woody Harrelson been in recently, Davey?
Hold on, I'll pull up his IMDb. I don't really know Woody Harrelson. Does my microphone sound okay, by the way?
It sounds okay. I don't think it sounds too bad. I think it's just as good as any other microphone's going to sound to me. I can hardly tell the difference. I can hardly hear one way or the other. Our ears are even just somehow it's been better, at least over the couple of years. But I say every year I lose about a decibel or so of area that I can hear some type of saying some type of comment.
Okay, well.
Hey, Bun. Oh, sorry, Davey.
Oh, I was just gonna say he was in Venom. So
wasn't he also in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Oh, he could have been. I think I remember him. I love that movie. It's a real funny flick. I like that movie decent, a little bit of a decent amount. I'm not too big of a fan of it, but I think if I remember right, he was in that movie. I think he played the dad, or he played one of the kids. I think if I remember that, I think he played one of the older kids. He might have been a teenager when the movie came out. At least as far as I remember.
He was in Zombieland 2, but
I never saw that one. I don't think I'm going to even check. I can't imagine what that movie's about, but I got to say one thing. I'm not really a fan of zombies.
Hold on, Fun. I have to challenge you on that. You can't imagine what that movie is about?
If you want to ask a question, I got to imagine when I think of it, and especially after what Goblin Leg just told me, I'd say Woody Harrelson pretty well puts a damn team together. Maybe they go across the water and go look for zombies in another country run by zombies or something. Rather, more or less a Jurassic Park situation is what it sounds like to me. And quite frankly, now that I think about it, I think I did see the trailer. And I would wager, if I'm remembering right, that's what it was about.
It's basically, you're pretty close actually. So there's a zombie apocalypse, and they just go about and they try to find this candy bar.
It's not a wonder zombie movie. It's not a wonder zombies. It's just they got a whole apocalypse. Everyone's a zombie in it.
Well, not everyone, because there's survivors, but I don't know.
Woody Harrelson is a zombie?
Chi-Chi.
And Woody Harrelson's a zombie in the movie?
I think he's
he's alive.
Right?
Oh, he lives in it. Well, hey, I gotta say, if his brother's in it, I would check it out. But I can't say that I'm gonna watch it just because he's in it. Because I do have a good eye for movies for the most part, and I've seen a lot of dumpy movies. And I think I did see one bad one that he was in just recently. It was no good. It was it was no good. What was the damn movie called? It was some types of movie. Must have been something about. It was something about something billboards. I think the movie was called. And I just thought that movie's pile of just dog water as far as I'm concerned. One of the last movies I ever saw in a movie theater was that one.
Hold on. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri?
No, I don't. I think I saw it it was in Vegas. I think I was there
the movie's title is 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, I don't know what the movie's title is. I think the best case you can do is look up Woody Harrelson Billboards movie. Maybe that's the one that you're thinking about. Maybe it's a different one. But I'd say if it had Woody, right, and it had Woody in it. I'm assuming it had Woody in it.
Yeah.
What he played, he was probably some sort of police officer.
Woody Harrelson.
Go ahead.
Oh, I keep interrupting you, Davey. I'm sorry. Woody Harrelson is kind of like the leader of the pack in Zombieland. But he ends up, well, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind.
I was going to watch that, and now you've just basically implied that
I didn't say
something
anything.
terrible happens.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, why? Well, thanks a lot, Godwin Lake, because I didn't even pick on to that. Now you said it out loud. Now I know he's pretty much dead at the end.
Well, I haven't seen it either. I've only seen the first one. I have it on DVD there.
I thought he was in the first one.
He's in both.
Oh.
I think.
Okay, well then maybe something. Well, again, I don't want to spoil anything. Never mind.
Why? You know what? I'm not going to watch this movie. I don't really like Jurassic Park team movies. I'm more or less I like cowboy. I like westerns are real great. I like those a good amount. And I think that, or there's a good western he was in recently. Trying to think of the name of it. It's got Javier in it. This was a real good movie I'd ever seen. What's wrong?
Oh, sorry. No, it's not you. My cat's here, and she's trying to climb on various things.
Are you talking about No Country for Old Men? Fun.
That's the one that's the one I'm thinking about. That's how you do a movie. I think that's how you do a real good flick.
I think it's a good movie too. I'm pretty sure 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Like, I haven't seen it, but I thought everyone was saying it was a really good movie.
Everyone always talks about stuff. You know, ever since I read Every Which Way But Loose and Every Which Way You Can, if you look up the critic reviews, the critics don't really like that movie that much. But I got to say, if you ever watch up that movie, now those are fine pieces of movie making, in my opinion, at least. And it shows that the critics really, they're nothing more than you give them a couple bucks, write you a good review. That's all it takes these days.
Yeah, you think they're paying the critics off?
Oh, I know they're paying the critics. I would guarantee I need to talk to Cooper about this because he's all interested in maybe making a few more movies. And I even told him, I said, hey, look, you're gonna be right up against some people that's paying other people off. And if you want to be a guy that interacts with people that's getting paid off or other people in the money making business end of things in Hollywood and Hollywood studios in general, and you better be ready for that because you got to get a few more bucks in your pocket before you think that you can start giving people money to put your content out there, which is what I said he should be doing. I don't think that there's any point in just hoping it gets famous on YouTube. I think that he's got to put a couple grand at least minimum, maybe even up to 10 grand, I'd say, in marketing online on Twitter or on I'd say even Reddit. So
you're saying that the only way to make it is to buy positive reviews in advance.
Yes, and that's the only way that things like that happen in Hollywood. Oscars, they're a bunch of crap. And how many comedy movies you see at the Oscars? You don't see a single comedy anymore.
I don't think they have I don't know. Does anyone really pay attention to the Oscars?
I like the part where Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. That was pretty funny.
I don't pay attention to any of that. I think it really is just a bunch of critics, holes in the critics' pockets to put slide money into. If you take a little fish hook, slide money in under the table, if you know what I mean. It's a bunch of holes in the critics' pockets. At least that's what I call it.
So, like, I'm looking at the reviews for 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, right?
Yeah, and I bet they say, "Hey, I'm sitting in my built-in pool that I just had installed from getting a lot of money from somewhere, and I'm watching this movie in the pool with the new movie theater screen that I got put up for the money that came from magical nowhere."
But like some of these, like, so there's like audience reviews, and I believe you could pretty easily buy those. But a lot of these reviews,
there's times where I actually have gotten paid to do stuff like that before.
Wait, okay, we got to explore that. What do you mean?
Well, there's a few times actually. There was a little bit of, I think it was got to be about 10 years ago or so. There was a little bit of a talent show down at a middle school, and what was the price? There was some BS prize. It was some sort of trip or vacation or somewhere. And I remember one of the kids' parents comes up and he says, "Hey, I want you to cheer really loud for my kid, and I'll give you $15." And I said, "Give me $15. I'll get up there with the kid and I'll do the entire act with him." Yeah, but I didn't end up doing the whole act. I think I just cheered and yelled on for the kid. And I don't know if he won or not. I left about halfway through the thing. It was real boring. I'll tell you that much. It was real boring.
Why were you at a middle school talent show?
It was something with best friend was gonna do something in a talent show. And I think I was going to show up for it, but he actually didn't end up being in the dance. I don't think he was scheduled for it, but as far as I was concerned at the time, I was going there to see best friend in a talent show. And he was just 13, 14 at the time. I think he might have, I would say what he must have been doing was going up on stage and singing some kind of Imagine Dragons or something rather, I'd say, going up and impressing a lady or whatnot. And I was all ready to go. I even dressed up and I did everything. I put on the best pair of Wranglers that I had at the time when I showed up.
So wait, what? You were going to see him in a talent show, but he didn't perform? But as far as you knew.
I was convinced that he was going to be in this thing, and I can't remember why I was thinking that, but I'm pretty sure he told me, or his mom told me, or someone at the time. Again, this is 10 years back, so I do think there's been a bit of water under the bridge at the point, so forgive me if I can't remember particularly whether or not his mom or himself told me. All I remember is I showed up to that elementary school, I can't remember if it was elementary school.
Well, if you're saying
and maybe it was some sort of play that he was in. I think it was a Thanksgiving turkey in the play. It was a Thanksgiving turkey in a play, I think. I went to go see that with him and his mom.
Oh, so this wasn't a talent show. It was like a play.
Yeah, he was in I remember going and seeing him in a play.
So a dad gave you $15 to cheer on his kid in the play?
No, the dad was in a talent show.
The dad was in a talent show.
No, the dad was in a talent show.
Oh, so these are two different times.
I'm trying to think because I remember best friend being on stage and he was dressed as a turkey. And I remember another time, but same feeling. I remember walking in those doors and saying, "I'm here to see best friend." All of a sudden, it's a talent show. He's not in it, and I can't remember particularly what the circumstances were that led to this moment. I can't remember. Maybe he was on stage. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe it was I can't remember if he was elementary school or middle school even.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about two completely separate occurrences here, right?
I'm not sure. It could have been the same thing. I think it might have been the same. I think it might have been a school play and then there was a talent show after. Or maybe the school's play was in the talent show. Well, that wouldn't make any sense because I do remember the best friend was a bit older during the talent show.
He was a bit older during the talent show than the other kids or than he was during the play?
No, he's about 2 years younger than all the kids. I actually do think that when he was in middle school, he was about 9 or 10.
So is he like a genius?
No, I think his mom was just a dumbass, messed up on a birth certificate in the adoption paperwork, gave the school the wrong age, and he started school about 2 years ahead of where he was supposed to be at.
How did his mom mess up on the birth certificate?
Yeah, you want to know why, Davey? It's because she really is a dumb bitch.
Okay, hold on. Like a nurse or something in the hospital didn't see this and say, "Hey, you've got."
Oh, I don't even remember. She didn't go overseas, but it was an overseas exchange. I don't think she ever saw the kid get born. I remember seeing him at Christmas one year. He was about 5 years old. And I was buying him Matchbox toys, and not only Matchbox toys, but I was buying him little Fisher Price.
Wait, you hadn't seen him at this point, but she must have, right? Because she gave birth to him.
No, she didn't give birth. She best friend's an adopted kid.
Oh, that's right. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's from. I believe he's from Vietnam. Is as far as is where he's from.
So wouldn't he already have a birth certificate?
He probably did, but all he's got to say is, let me think about that for a second, because I'm not truly sure how it works in Vietnam.
How old is best friend now?
Oh God, he's got to be.
Like
I don't
20?
think he's not quite 30. I don't know if he's 20. I'd say he's between. He's got to be between 18 and 25.
Okay, but that's like a really wide range. And how long have you lived with him?
Oh, he moved in just a couple years back. It was right before COVID, or is it? No, it was a little after COVID happened. He got sent down to live with me. After his school and shut down, he dropped out, and Mom said, "Go live with your Uncle Bunny, and he's going to take care of you, raise you to be a man." And quite frankly, I got to say, I don't get much credit for it, but I've done a great damn job in the past 2 years making him a man. He's a real man now.
Yeah, but you don't know how old he is. Like, it sounds like you haven't talked to him about hardly anything.
He's old enough, and that's all I care about. He's old enough to do. At this point, I don't care what in the Samuel he does, as long as he's being a man about it. I don't care much about what he does. But I will say that best friend did get his license. When did he get his damn? Well, he got his license, I think, a few years later than he was supposed to. But I also think at the same time that his birth certificate had him 2 years older. So he might have gotten his license at 16.
I don't understand how you're calling his mom a dumb bitch.
No, she's dumber than that. I got more words I could call her, but I can't.
Yeah, well, let's hear it. Yeah, you can't say it because of Harrelson's CBD, right?
I can't say it because of Harrelson's CBD, and I'm sure they did hear this. If I ever said this, it would be half a second before they cut me down.
I'm gonna add, "Hey Souls, see what you've got to say." Do you have any input on the middle school situation?
Yeah, say, Bun, didn't you used to think that best friend was actually your whoever your sister was a biological son because you thought she stuck around a lot or something?
Yeah, that's true, and she did. And I said I wouldn't believe it because, again, I never talked to my sister hardly. I'll go 5-6 years or so without even talking to the damn bitch. And I think around that time, she shows up and she does have a kid from Vietnam in our aunt's house. It was at our aunt's house that we were celebrating Christmas, and he shows up. That's the first thing I'm thinking is I can tell right now what happened. You got yourself in a little bit of trouble. Guess what happens? She ends up having a kid, just like the other kid that she had out of wedlock. So I didn't put it past her to say that 5 years is not too. I would say 5 years is a decent amount of time for her to recover and lie and possibly potentially claim that he is claim he's an adopted son when she's truly biological. And let me tell you something. Our family finds out that she has a kid out of wedlock, she's going to be laughing stock of the entire family. And that's not to say that I would say that. I would say that I'm more of an honorable person in terms of I myself have almost had children out of wedlock multiple times. And so I can't judge her for that, but I can judge her for saying, hey, you're going to lie to your family and say that he's an adopted kid when really this kid is my blood and I have every right next to anyone to raise him as my own son. And so if there's a part of me that says that he is my biological nephew and I am blood related to this to best friend, my sweet nephew who has grown so much in the past few years, I'd be proud because he's more of a butler than he is whatever her married last name was. And let me tell you, it's something real dumb.
So is that the reason you you don't like her because she's not taking care of best friends, and then she had another kid out of wedlock?
We never really got along. I say we're either spitting or hollering at each other or getting in just tussles and whatnot. And she'll steal. I had a little bit of a steal one time. She stole little parts of a little bit of model train. I think my pop had bought for me for Christmas one year. I was about 11. I had this model train, and she comes up. She starts picking it for parts. Picking it for little pieces, and I don't even know what in Sam hell she was trying to do with them, but she was taking my little toy train apart. And I said, "You keep doing that, I'm going to take this thing. I'm going to shove it so hard it goes right through your eye and out the back of your skull." I said that it's how smart I was as a little kid. So I had that threat all ready to go just off the top of my head. And she never bugged with it after that. But I will say that it was that little day that caused a little bit of controversy between me and her. And I don't think we were quite the same after that. But I will say that we did spend Thanksgiving together, and it was an okay time. It wasn't bad. It felt a little bit like family was getting reunited. And if we can let water be under the bridge, I just consider and say best friends more or less under my domain now than yours. And we could move on with our lives, and hopefully she can change for the better as life goes on. We'll even say as life keeps continuing for her at this rate, as she's getting a year older every damn year at this point.
But sorry if I missed.
I'm sorry, bro.
How old were you when you had the train incident?
No, I had to have been I'd say roughly between 8 and 11.
Okay. I kind of imagined you being like 30, and it made me chuckle a bit, but that makes more sense.
Oh, no, but I've had all sorts of situations with her on a sturdy. We were in a Chinese restaurant one time, and I told her, I said she's going to keep I had a little General Tso's chicken, and she said she doesn't eat meat anymore. She's telling me, I don't eat meat, Bunny, and I don't want to eat any of your meat. I'm not going to order any. And she said General Tso's chicken smelled so good, she started picking her hand off the plates, and I take the chopsticks, and I hit her so hard in the hand, just trying to joke with her, but it actually did pierce the skin and go about half a centimeter into her hand.
Fun. So what you're describing is maybe she, this happened with the train situation too. Maybe she kind of starts it, maybe she's being a little mischievous or, outright annoying.
A mischievous little raccoon. It's like a
little rat.
She's a little she's like a dirty raccoon going through the trash and even just dumping it out and going through all the food on top of that in a trash can, just starting to eat the food.
So, how old was she when she stole the trash? How old is she compared to you?
Oh, this is fairly recent. I say our late 30s, early 40s.
I just mean, are you older than her, or is she older than you?
Oh, she's about a year or two older than me.
Okay, so she you're playing with your train. She comes and takes a piece. You're 11 years old, and you threaten to kill her. And then...
Well, I didn't threaten to kill her. I just said, I'm going to throw this train into your head, and it's going to come out here. And he said, a little kid, you don't realize, that you don't realize that's going to hurt somebody real bad. As far as I knew, it was going to look like an action movie, action flick. I was just going to throw it just like a damn boomerang almost, have it go right in, right out. That's what I was thought. And I... more or less, at the young age that I was, thought maybe get a few stitches and lose her eye, but she didn't think that would kill her.
I have a hard time believing that you did not expect that to kill her, but fine. But then at the Chinese restaurant, once again, you jokingly stab her hand with the chopstick.
Yeah, I said, what I said to her? I looked at her, I said, "Yeah, get your hands off my General Tso's." And I just beat the damn thing down right on her hand. You should have seen the damn place was it felt like a bowl in the china shop. After that, all hell just rang loose right after that. I even stood up and I said, "Oh, my sand hell, I really made a big mistake here, I guess." I looked at the waiter and I said, "Looks like I'm in for trouble." The waiter isn't speaking English or so, and he's just trying to figure out what's going on. And I had to explain to him. I said, "She's a little bit hurt, but don't worry about it. It's more or less play and fun." And as I'm skilled to do that, I am skilled at de-escalating situations in public. And that was one of the proudest times I had ever de-escalated a full situation.
Bun, this is a situation of your own creation.
No,
You
I wouldn't say
stabbed
it
her.
is. And gotta say, she was asking for it, trying to lie about being a vegetarian, and it's pretty well much picking off little chicken bites.
So it sounds to me like the trend is she does something small to slight you, maybe not a nice thing to do. And then you escalate with violence every time.
Yeah, that's right. No, not every time. I'll sometimes swear at her and say, "You're just such a the devil's going to spit on you in hell, and the devil's you got nothing but the devil's going to be your best buddy, and the devil's going to run from you when you go to hell." I'll say little jokes like that, or I'll say, you know what? If I ever die in a car accident and it's a horrible, terrible wreck, just know that the last thing I thought of you was that you and I are enemies, and I'll never have a good thought about you leaving this world. I say stuff like that, and it's more or less just bantering and just siblings joking around.
Hey, it's Death. Do you have any thoughts on what Bun is saying here?
Actually, I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing, so I can't really make a comment right now.
Okay, that's fair. To me, Bun, none of those things sounded like jokes, and it wouldn't surprise me if your sister's terrified of you.
Oh, we're both a bit scared of each other.
Why are you afraid of her?
No, I just think she's up to no good half the time. I think she'll do anything for $1, and I think even if she had to kill her own brother for $1, I'd say that's something that easily a troll or a user on Reddit could easily contact her and say, "Hey, I'll give you $50,000. You go and you put one in Bun." I think she would do it, and that's why I do have a bit of distrust, especially in recent times, in terms of the trolling events that we've had. Is something along those lines could happen.
Would she do that even with your skill that you've achieved with the javelins?
Yeah, I think she would. And I don't even tell her about that most of the time. I don't share much with her, especially because you don't want her to get all upset and come over here and start causing a hoot and a holler. And her and her husband already had a few choice words to make with me about the general place that I'm living. So, I don't know.
Well, that doesn't sound fair, right?
I agree. It's not fair.
She sent best friend to live with you.
That's right. And he's made this place worse than it was when I was here.
How so?
Oh, he just dirties up the damn place. It had there's trash cans compiled all over the damn kitchen, first of all. And you can even see that where he leaves his food, you can actually see where I think we've had Jerusalem crickets in here. We've had roaches. We've had all kinds of different bugs and mites just pretty well much in just eating and tearing apart his doings of trash and making a place even dirtier than you could possibly imagine it.
How much of that is him and how much of it is you?
It's about 50-50, but you add in his half of it, that's double than what it's normally worth.
Did you open up a hole in your ceiling recently? We talked about
not yet. And I'm going to get that done, guys. Don't worry about that. I think that I'm feeling a bit better now, but I do like the idea of having ventilation in my bedroom at night.
Please promise me you will punch that hole in your ceiling. It
will
save your life.
It. I won't punch it, but I will take a heavy rock, I think, and at least pull apart the shinglings. I'll pull the shinglings apart by bare hand. I've already worked that through, and I think that between that and there's just insulation in a way. It shouldn't be too hard, except for there's a little bit of plywood that I have on top of the roof. So I'm gonna have to get through that, and I don't have any of my saws on me, so I don't know how easy it's going to be breaking that with a rock, but I'm sure it'll be easy. I already went to Home Depot and got some chicken wires just the other day.
Okay, it makes me feel better for your safety that you are actively working on punching this hole in your roof so that you don't die of carbon dioxide poisoning.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, Ben. You go ahead.
I was going to thank Pronghorn for the suggestion, but I want. Hey, it's Death. Did you have a question that you wanted to ask before you were setting into this chat? You want to ask me something?
Not particularly right now. I'm actually not even sure what's going on, but I'm listening.
Move to the audience. Okay. I have a question related to what you just
all right,
said.
that's great. And I hope you and listen. Can you send me a follow on my Reddit, please, and send me a follow on my Twitter. And if you're interested in buying any T-shirts, hey, it's Death, and I have them on my Bun Butler Redbubble storefront. So if you Google storefront Redbubble with Bun Butler, and that's BUNBUTLER, there are many shirt choices and different shirt types of forms that you could have or buy in terms of other types of design forms. I have mugs. I got computer laptop cases. I have all kinds of things. I got paintings on there. I have drawings of Voles. And if you're interested in buying any of that, it helps me out because I don't have a whole lot of money. I'm just pretty much skating by in life.
I gotta say,
I may have bought something if you just didn't remove me like that.
Oh, I didn't do that. Wasn't me. I didn't remove you. I must have been Davey. It must have been you, right? You had to have been the guy to remove her.
It might have been Goblin.
Oh, it could have been. That's right. It was probably Goblin. Goblin leg. If you see Goblin leg around, Goblin leg removed you. I think, and that's confirmed through the moderator chat. So if you want to buy something on the stores, I would welcome it. I think that I'll give you a discount. Is if you buy the shirts, I'll put them all on 10% discount right now just for you. So I just put it in Redbubble, and they're all 10%. Or in other words, let's say it this way, because that was more or less a lie that I was trying to make, and I will be honest about that. That I was trying to trick you. But tomorrow I'm going to do a 10% price hike on all my products. So if you want to buy something now, I'd recommend doing it in the next couple hours before
That's very kind of you, Bun. I'll consider.
The opposite of a discount, a price hike.
Yep, I'm going to have a price hike tomorrow. So if you guys want to get your Vol shirts, head on over to Redbubble and get them now because they're going to be about 10% more expensive sometime in the near future. I can't guarantee when, but they will be at some point a little bit more expensive.
But you just said tomorrow.
Well, I don't remember how to get on Redbubble and change the prices right now. I can't. I gotta listen. Tomorrow I got a lot to do. I gotta go on a little bit of a road trip tomorrow up to Reno. I gotta figure some personal things out with other family members. And if I can get that done, maybe I'll come back and I'll say to myself, I think it's time for that price hike, and I'll put it on there. But I can't guarantee the price hike's coming tomorrow.
Okay, Bun, how about you do your price hike and then maybe I'll make a purchase of your T-shirt.
Well, listen, I would love to do the price hike and have you buy something, but it is a bit cheaper if you buy it now versus when I do the price hike.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'll just buy it when the price is high.
No, well, the price is higher than it has been. I'll say with inflation, Redbubble's been hiking the prices up, and listen, I hardly get any of the damn money. I get $2 off of a $30 T-shirt.
Interesting.
I gotta say, Bun,
$2 not even much. They don't even got a dollar menu at McDonald's anymore.
Well, I don't know if you should be every new person we invite to the chat. I don't know if you should be trying to immediately get them to buy things off of you.
No, it's okay. I'm actually more than happy to make a purchase, but maybe I'll just wait for the price hike. It's no problem.
Wait, but
okay, Mr. Bun.
But if you got, let me put it this way, okay?
Yes, I understand. If I buy it today, it's gonna be cheaper, but I'm just gonna wait for the price hike.
Well, but it sounds like
you pay more money.
Exactly.
So you're saying if I burn prices up tomorrow, I guess I'll get a little bit more of the cut, is what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Bun, do you know how to adjust the price?
I think I'll figure it out, or I could toss it to Cooper and have him do that, because at this point he's already asking for 50% to manage the Redbubble, and I guess
is that your manager?
That's my manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard of him?
No.
Do you play Call of Duty?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Oh, so you probably seen him around on a game a few times. His He's big into that. He's been playing that since it's like a wild, mad animal close to them. However damn long the game's been out.
I haven't played for a long time because I have a lot going on in life right now. But yes, I love Call of Duty, and I'm pretty sure I haven't met your manager there, Mr. Bun.
And also, they'd make a really good. Also, the shirts would make a good Christmas gift. Just letting you know, if you want to keep your family and friends happy with you, unlike mine, if you want to, let me give you a little bit of suggestion. Get them a good gift for Christmas.
You know, Mr. Bun, I actually don't have a family. I'm an orphan, so
Aren't you?
I'll just be buying for myself. Maybe a pretentious friend that I have. Maybe I'll buy it for her too.
You should be more open.
I like that idea. That's a really good idea. I think that buying it for your friends is a great idea.
Yes.
You should give Bun as much money as possible, is what it sounds like he's trying to say.
That's okay.
Right,
it is Christmas is upon us, and I'm feeling generous. I'm a photographer. I make good money, so don't worry.
Yeah.
No, I can't promise you a big amount, Mr. Bun. So don't make your shirt like $100 because I'm not paying that. All I'm saying is I'm not going to pay $100 for a shirt.
What about around 75?
75 is good. That's a good deal. Is it 100% cotton?
I don't know the damn logistics. I don't even why. Listen, Redbubble's got all their products on it. Their damn merchandise store. Their shop where they put the products in the machines and whatnot. I haven't even seen them. I've been around them. All I got to say is the shirt's got to be pretty good because there's a few people buying them and saying good things. That's all I can say about them. If you want to know if it's 100% cotton, I'd say buy it and maybe it'll say on the shirt. Or you can feel it and see it.
I just want to say I have personally bought the Pronghorn t-shirt from Bunheim's Redbubble. It is the best shirt I have ever bought. It is a high quality, wonderful art design, and it's literally the only thing I ever wear.
Do you like pronghorns?
Death? Maybe I do.
If you like pronghorns, I have a very high quality pronghorn shirt on a Redbubble.
It is very high quality.
Are you the manager?
I can only dream of managing Bun. I wish I was. I am just the local enthusiast of pronghorns.
He's more or less my assistant. I'd say he's more or less the damn what's your damn guy in a boat called with a hat? He's got a striped shirt.
The skipper.
Yeah, you're like the damn skipper.
Yeah, so I moderate Bunyan's pronghorn subreddits. It's really hard work, but he
does a fine job with it too.
Yeah, thank you, Cable. I have no life, so that's my life is moderating the one post a month on our pronghorn.
I would be really careful about what Pronghorn Enthusiast says because he has made some horrible
good ideas. Kate, Davey, thank you.
I'm just glad that I can be here to give some counterbalance to what Pronghorn says to Bun in any case, because Bun will just believe it.
Hey, hey, it's Death. Have you ever tried drinking battery acid before? I hear it makes a great wine. Davey, you have anything to say about that?
No.
I want to get back to Bun's sister because I want to know more about her.
Can I just speak up about something? Maybe Pronghorn doesn't have the best ideas, but he's still a fine moderator. He does a really good job. That's all.
He seems like a great moderator. You guys are lucky to have him.
The best ideas. Thank you, Hey, it's Death. I appreciate you too, Fully Amateur. I'm glad somebody here acknowledges my genius.
Okay, listen, I can't keep advertising Pronghorn stuff because I hardly even got a benefit for my shirt now at this point. She's going to pretty much head over to Pronghorn's Redbubble and buy him stuff.
Okay.
This-
I want to get back to Bun's sister, but I'd like to invite Senior Broccoli to talk because he's had his hand up for a while.
This was like back when people were asking a few questions, but I was going to ask if Bun has kept up with the World Cup.
Or World Cup. I watched when America was in it, and I was rooting for them that day, and I thought that was pretty cool when we beat. What's that one country we beat? We must have been.
It was Iran.
It was Iran. We beat Iran, and beat Iran, and that was real great. That was a real great win for the United States of America.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't pay attention because I just don't give it. I don't really care much about soccer. I think it is not as great of a sport as the other ones. I think it's more or less of a sport in some ways, and I just can't follow it.
It's pretty easy to follow.
It's ball's bouncing around. I might as well. You can just watch the damn DVD loading screen where the DVD bounces off the sides of the screen till it gets in the little corner. You guys ever watch that? That's what's watching soccer's like. Is you just waiting for the damn thing to go into the damn the soccer net
corner or
yeah. But in this analogy, the soccer net is the corner.
Yeah. Never thought about it that way.
Well, it's a bad analogy.
It's not a bad analogy. It's a great one because you ever watch that DVD screen? Film yourself watching that DVD screen and film yourself watching soccer games.
I'll admit that I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I know for a fact you're really into football, and I just don't see.
Oh, I love football. Football. It's such a great sport. I lost about $607 betting in Reno this weekend on some of the games.
I love football too, Bun, but I'm more of a college football guy.
Yeah, I watch a fair amount of college football here and there. I think that I've been a little bit out of it recently, but I got to say NFL is where you got to make the good money when you're betting on it, especially gotten a good Vegas team this year. I still think it's a pretty damn good team.
Aren't you a big fan of the Raiders?
I'm the biggest Raiders fan I think out there, and I have to say I'm pretty well much the last one still supporting Derek Carr, who I do think Derek Carr's got to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, who just doesn't have a chance to shine. It's not a good system for him to play football in. And I do think that come next year, y'all better watch out because Derek Carr might run the NFL.
Did you play football growing up?
Oh no, I was too little for something like that. I mostly just rode my bike, and I mostly just went out in the woods, and I go hunting and fishing and you pretty well much walking up and down sand dunes and such and just going off into nature.
So you would just wander through the woods? That's all you do as a kid?
A lot of the things that I do is I just wander in nature and just more or less think about the world, more or less think about my place in the forest, in the ecosystem, and really learning just to be a man. And they say you can't be a true man until you understand you're just part of the earth. And so that's why I don't feel bad when I say if I have to kill an animal or hunt a big animal like Harleon, I have no problem killing him because I am the apex predator. Humans are still human, and if all the animals get to kill each other, I don't see a problem with all humans being able to kill animals too.
Yeah,
when you think about it, big concrete.
Point.
Listen, concrete buildings, that's just as much as nature is a damn bird's nest. A big concrete parking garage is a damn nest for cars. And a nest is a damn landing spot for birds' eggs. Birds put eggs in a nest just like we park cars in a parking garage. And I gotta say, we built them up. Beaver dams. You gotta say that beaver dams isn't nature?
No, I wouldn't say that beaver dams aren't nature. I think the materials we're using are quite a bit different, right?
But what you're not realizing is you're an animal just like the rest of them. You and I, Davey, we're both animals. We're just the smartest animal. We're the smartest animals ever to live. But at the same end of the day, we're all just animals. And I gotta say, this couch right here, it must be made of damn. It's got to be some sort of polyester.
Which is like a manufactured resource, right?
And guess
Like,
all right, let's spider webs. Spider webs is manufactured out of damn spider's butthole.
that is true. I just don't think any other animal is like you said concrete. I think that's a good example. Concrete is like Portland cement, for example. It could be incredibly polluting to produce that. I don't think a beaver would be at risk of destroying its environment.
Well, all
Quite as
right,
much.
let me ask you this, Davey. If a beaver builds a dam about 1675 stories high up in the air, builds them all across the planet Earth, that's going to destroy the Earth because it's going to hurt all the other ecosystems. Beavers, let me ask you this, Davey. What happens when a beaver dam goes up? Beaver dam goes up, drains the pond behind it. Now, all of a sudden, you got fishes flopping and flapping up on the mud bank. And guess what that is?
Normally the beaver dams are good for the wildlife around it. And you're never going to have a 75-foot beaver dam. Have you seen like beaver dams in the wild? They're pretty small normally.
That's what they would have told what's his name? Tutankhamun. They would have told him you can't have a damn 75-foot tall, 75-story tall pyramid, Great Pyramid of Giza. And he said, like Sam Hill, I can't. And he's built a damn pyramid.
He didn't. He had thousands of people helping him. He had civilization.
He had lots of slaves building the pyramids.
Yeah. I don't think you see thousands of beavers grouping together to build a dam. Normally it's
that's because they're not smart enough, and because the animals aren't as smart as humans are. Humans are some of the smartest animal out there. And humans are smart enough to say, hey, let's all get together and let's build a damn triangle in the sand. A big tall triangle.
A pyramid of sorts.
Yeah, pyramid.
You're right that beavers are not as smart as humans. I totally agree.
I don't think they're even close. But I would say I think beavers are smarter than tang vermin.
I just think that normally when we're talking about something being natural, we're talking about something that comes pretty directly from nature, without like artificial is what you might call like a concrete parking garage. You would not call that a
beaver dam. You got to call beaver dam artificial.
No, I don't. It's just mud and logs.
Yeah, I understand.
And concrete is just wet damn rocks put together. Wet rocks that get real hard.
I understand what Davey's saying here. He's saying that these compounds that humans use are all chemicals, not directly from nature. That's what he's trying to say.
I am going to side with Bun on this. So you know termites, right? Like they got termites in like Africa and stuff that make giant pyramid towers for termites, right? So I mean they make their own concretes out of saliva and mud. I don't see how that's any different from people making concrete out of rocks and water.
That's right.
If they can use chemicals to alter their environment to make a house, and that's nature, then how come we can't do that?
I don't know why we can't do that. I think we can personally. I think it's fair to build a parking garage if I want to build one. I think if I had the opportunity to, I should have the land to build it.
Absolutely.
I think what you're describing with the termites, first of all, that's not concrete, right? Portland cement is not just water and rocks. Like there are a ton of additives in there.
Yes.
Stuff. That's why it took us thousands and thousands of years to figure out that recipe.
But
the 1900s or
the termites use their own like chemicals from their body, and that took them probably millions of years to develop, and that's not something that they can find out in nature either. But they use that in their body to.
But that was due to a biological process, right?
Yeah,
I think.
And then biological process, how you did biological processes. If you're a human, is using your hands.
I think the ancient Romans discovered. Didn't the ancient Romans discover concrete?
Potentially. I think they had like a really early mix. I think most people in the engineering world, when they talk about concrete, the ancient Romans might have built some roads and stuff, but normally structural concrete, you're talking about 1900, like maybe 1800.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Davey, 1900s or maybe 1800s. That's what I was thinking. Late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree about Portland cement. I don't think we should be referring to parking garages as a natural phenomenon. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that's right.
I agree with Davey.
Like usual, I agree with Bun.
Well, it looks like Broccoli and Des got to be the tiebreakers on this one.
I mean, parking lots are just kind of there, so it seems pretty natural to me.
That's right. I agree with that. Especially, you get those parking lots are going to grow over time, and they're just going to return to nature.
No, well, they'll return. They're not going to grow.
Oh, they'll grow little grass and whatnot out of them. You ever watch a zombie movie? In zombie movies, they always got grass and whatnot pretty well by poking out of the damn the asphalt.
I don't think. Also, parking garages weren't just there. Humans built them to put cars into them.
Yeah, it's true. But as far as I can tell, I walk outside, and one of the first things I used to see when I was living in the city, not anymore, but I walk outside and I did see the parking garage standing up across the street.
But that doesn't mean it's a natural fit. Someone built it. That's all that means.
And someone built a beaver dam and bird's nest. Birds did.
Yeah, presumably birds and beavers.
And beavers wake up every morning and they look across the water and they say, "There's that beaver dam that some other beaver built." And that's how I say. I look outside and I say, "That's the parking garage." Well, I'll say that's the parking garage I broke my leg trying to jump off of. But I'll also say that's the parking garage that some guy must have built. I guess at some point.
We need to revisit that. But hey, it's Death. Do you have an opinion on whether or not a parking garage is a naturally occurring phenomenon?
Well, it looks like I win the argument because I got 3 votes.
Yeah, I guess you win.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Are parking garages naturally occurring phenomenon?
No, that's not the question. Is what was the question?
Would you call a parking garage natural?
That's yeah. Okay, now I
It
get what you're saying.
depends. What year are we talking about?
The original question we were talking about.
Let's say you go outside. You're walking down the street in the city, and you see like a parking structure.
Okay.
Is that a naturally occurring thing? Would you call that
No.
parking? Thank you. So we're tied again.
Because someone, humans are natural, and rocks and water and sticky cement and whatnot is natural, and humans putting it up is natural because everything on the planet is natural.
Sticky cement is not natural.
Now, if an alien came down and said, "Here's a damn ray gun, start blasting away," now I'd say that's not natural.
What about the pyramids? Who built that?
That's what we were saying before. Is we were saying is that the pyramids are natural because that's no different than a beaver pretty well much putting sticks.
Yeah, they're just like there now. They're like a settlement that nobody lives in.
Do we know that
I just don't think parking lots are natural.
I think they are.
What a pile of shit this argument is. Listen, I have to settle the debate by saying Bun's got 1 extra vote, so I still win. No matter what you 3 say, I'll give.
Your vote counts as 2 votes.
Now, I don't think that's fair.
No, it's fair. It's fair. I got 2 votes. Pronghorn's got 1. Broccoli's got 1. That equates to 4 votes.
I don't want to argue about it anymore. I want to ask you about the time you jumped off of a parking garage and for what reason.
Well, it was because I got my truck was stuck up there, and I lost my ticket.
Your truck was, so you jumped off?
Yeah, I jumped from the second floor into a bush.
Why? Why? Your truck is still there. Why wouldn't you just?
I left the damn thing for about 12 hours or so. He's going to pretty much rack up to about $86 fee.
Could you not have just walked out?
I guess I could have, but it was one of those situations where you needed to get out as fast as possible. And it's just I didn't waste. Look, the way that I thought about it was it's a 2-story drop. That's not too far.
But why did you have to get out as fast as you could?
Well, because I was worried that security's going to come up, see I didn't pay for my ticket, and he's going to take me to jail.
But he's not the police, right? He just works for a private company who owns that parking.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you something. Private military operations, such mercenaries, they carry the heavy guns, and they got rights to do anything they can hardly do around you, especially around me or you.
You're saying that you think the guy who was manning the till or whatever at the front of this parking garage would have had a heavy gun and would have come to kill you or take you to jail?
I think that could have been a possibility when I was in the parking garage. And let me say, like, if I don't know if you're familiar with America, but there are parts of America that that threat is real, as there are mercenary type groups who have the possibility to be leased out to park. Now, it happens a lot in the military. It happens a lot overseas. You'll have these guys going overseas to fight proxy wars.
You're talking about overseas, but I don't think Lockheed Martin on domestic territory is capturing American citizens and imprisoning them.
Oh, they could be.
They're not.
Why?
They're not doing that.
They got private prisons.
There are private prisons, but I don't think Lockheed Martin has the authority to arrest people.
No, I don't think he's arresting it. I'm saying that I think the parking garage says, look, we don't want to pay the taxes to have the police officer come in here and run the place. So what we'll do is we'll pretty much spend some money on a guy that we know is going to do the job.
That sounds super illegal.
I'm trying to think if it is. I think it could. I think it's legal. I didn't think it's. I think it's for the law.
No, it's not.
No,
a private company cannot just kill people. Not American citizens anyway.
Not kill, but let's just say the guy looks at me. I'm not going to go down without a fight, and at that point, self-defense. And quite frankly, I wouldn't blame him.
So that's why you jumped.
I'd say more or less I just wanted to get the hell out of there. I looked down, saw a bush, and the bush was fairly high. It was about half a story high, and I said, well, there's not much hard labor that can be done by just getting out of here.
Your story doesn't make any sense, bud.
No, I parked the truck, looked in for the ticket, couldn't find a ticket anywhere, knew the damn thing's going to cost $86, stood it on my truck, stopped for a second. Son of a bitch, I guess this is it. My truck's going to get stuck up here, and they're going to come after me if I don't pay this damn thing. Look down, see, well, there's a bush. Bush about half a story tall. I can get from this second story to the half a story. It's about a story and a half fall. It will cushion me. And I jumped, and I missed the bush just by a little bit.
You missed the bush.
Bun,
is that on my own accord? It was my shirt got caught on the structure going down. I got a little bit of a tinger on the shirt, and it got me all lopsided.
Bun, is that the truck that you wrecked?
Yep, that is the truck that I wrecked.
So how did you end up getting it out of the parking garage after you fell 2 stories and broke your foot or something?
Well, I went back with best friend. Me and him got up in the truck and said, I came up with my broken leg and said, I broke my leg yesterday and left my truck here. I left it here. I just can't believe I just want this damn truck back. And they said, oh, sir, we're so sorry that happened to you yesterday. We're going to let you go out free.
So they
no,
just gave you your truck back.
No, they let me drive out of the parking garage. They lifted the door open.
so no paramilitary operators came out to collect your $86.
Not that time. Not that time they didn't. But I've had run-ins with the guys before. I can't say that they're not everywhere.
But other times, the paramilitary operators have come out to collect their $86. Just not that time.
No, I was in a bowling alley once, and I saw this guy who's wearing he had his vest, a mysterious looking vest on with no labels except for he had one patch, and in both he had two holsters, and both of them he had, I think they were, one of them was a Glock, and I didn't get to see what the other one was. And this guy's got big muscles and huge tattoos, and I go up to him and I say, look at him, I say, well, you look like you're a tough guy. And he says, you trying to start trouble with me? And I said, oh, no, nothing at all. In fact, I was going to ask you if I could buy your bowling shoes for you. As he's sitting at the counter, just drinking a beer. And he says, I'm not here to bowl. I'm just here to meet somebody. And I say, well, let me buy you another round. And he goes, that's the only beer I'm going to have tonight.
Okay.
And then what?
And then I think I went to go bowl. I went to go bowl a little bit. I played a couple rounds of bowling. I think he must have just met who he had to meet and got out of there.
So you're saying you think he was a paramilitary operator?
Oh, he was, because you could see the patchwork. The patchwork on his shoulder had a little skull and had yellow colors and whatnot on it. It was something that wasn't American. It wasn't of any nation. I
don't think you have enough evidence to say that, and I think all of his behavior can be explained by just thinking of him as a man who just didn't want to talk to you.
No, he was there for something special, as far as I can tell. He wanted nothing to do with me. He says he wasn't even looking hardly in my eyes. I could tell that there was something going on with him.
Where else are these paramilitary operators?
You ever go to a football game? You can see them guarding the stadium.
Well, that's not.
I can confirm that's true. Bun is telling the truth.
That's just a security service.
And it's a private security service, paramilitary types.
Yeah, but I mean, security services are common. They don't have the authority to arrest you or lock you up in a cell, typically.
No, they don't have the power to, but they have the power to take you to a certain private type of prison if they can say, hey, listen, here's the deal. I shoot you now, or you come with me and you go to this little jail. And they got so much money that countries pretty well might just tell them, hey, do whatever the Sam hell you want. I don't care much about it. I'll look the other way, turn a blind eye, just like I'm president of the damn United States. I'll turn a blind eye to it.
If they have so much money, can you name one of these companies?
Lockheed Martin.
Okay, I don't think that's right.
Bargenmeyer Wilsons. The yellow skulls or the black skulls is, I think, what that one guy was a part of.
You don't know the name. You don't even know that he was paramilitary.
Well, I think that he was part of the Black Skulls, which is a very secret group.
It's a secret group.
Well, it's for very rich people. And I remember someone was telling me about this a few years ago. The guy who got quite a bit of money was letting me know the ins and outs.
Hey, Bun, I got an interesting story for you.
Sure.
I did some work with Lockheed Martin recently, and yeah, I can confirm they are a very secretive bunch.
Yeah, they can, and I know, just like the advertising companies got on there, that same type of companies got eyes and ears on all these types of talks and Twitter spaces and all that. They can hear and say everything we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Can you give any examples of projects they've kept a secret?
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
And how are we supposed to trust you?
I'm contractually bound. I can't do that.
I mean, you could just be making this up.
I could be, but you guys trust me, right?
I think I trust you, especially knowing that Cable knows you. He says anything, that's going to be the end of him.
Well, because what? Because
you're very powerful people that don't want those secrets getting spread out.
I don't think Bun, if you're gonna die, it's almost certainly not going to be Lockheed Martin. Unless you're like a domestic terrorist or something posing.
I'm not even close to that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty much just the biggest American patriot, especially on the West Coast.
Yeah, so you have nothing to worry about.
A true America, in my opinion.
Bun, that poses an interesting question to me. So you claim you are a strong American patriot, right?
I'm the biggest American patriot out there.
So what are your thoughts on Bush did 9/11? Do you think George W. Bush committed 9/11?
I don't. I think that's such a load of bullshit. I don't think he would ever even think about doing anything close to that. I think that listen, you ever support that? You ever put that idea in that such a good American man would ever consider attacking his own people like that? It's a divisionist tactic. It is a conspiracy that is designed to destroy the country's image of a patriotic self. And quite frankly, it has worked over the past 10 years.
So you're saying
George W. Bush would
chance.
never do anything. No, he would never, ever do anything like that. I could never see George W. Bush ever doing anything in regards to conspiring to murder the American people, or I can't even see him trying to even say, ruin some good planes. I can't see ruin some good towers. I can't see him attacking the own mark of his own birthland. I can't see him even hardly having an idea other than to hug the towers. I think that's the closest thing that George W. Bush would have done is hug the towers themselves. And quite frankly, that 9/11 never happens. I guarantee you his 8th year in presidency, that's what we see is him hugging those Twin Towers, showing his love for the country and showing his love for protecting the country of the United States of America.
So he probably didn't do it.
No, he did not do. He didn't. There's no probably. He never did it.
I mean, personally, I'm a 9/11 denier. I don't think it ever happened.
Well, I can tell you must be young because I remember the day that it happened.
I don't.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. You don't remember it because you weren't alive back then.
That is true.
Yep, and let me tell you something. You were born into a world of hate and agony ever since that day. Your mind's been corrupted and polluted by the outcomes post 9/11. They've been tainted and destroyed and poisoned and spat on and shat on and shit on by every damn person who has taken over and the rich elitists and the global order has taken over and ensured that your mind is corrupted from that point on. As you have been born into a world that you do not recognize as your own. You are born in the false, fake world that has been created by false and fake entities designed to lead us around like sheep.
So you are saying it's fake?
I'm not saying it's fake.
What was George Bush doing during 9/11? That's right.
George W. Bush was reading to a bunch of kids.
Yep, reading the kids. He was a good man.
Like a good American.
But were those kids real? Were those fake kids?
There's no chance in hell that George W. Bush would ever said, "I'm going to go read a children's book to a bunch of fake children."
But what if he didn't know that they were fake, or what if he did know that they were fake and that was his alibi?
Yeah, what if somebody did it behind his back?
I don't think Bush did 9/11 either, Bun. I don't
know. There's a lot of evidence. Something about
no evidence. There's none. All there is there's Twitter. There's Twitter, and there's millennials on Twitter and Reddit who's trying to be a little bit of a jokester and trying to reignite. But I cannot in good conscience even speak about this subject without just feeling disgusted and sick.
I think
and I'm a good American man, and I always had an American flag raised in my front yard. I've had it raised ever since I was around 1994 or so, and it hasn't come down. only for half-mast in terms of when Queen Elizabeth died recently, and other half-mast times, especially when there's a shooting or when there's a celebrity dies, such as Stephen throw in and just say Oprah Winfrey dies, and then I'll put it at half-mast. Michael Jackson dying.
Betty White.
Betty White? No, I don't think I put it down for her.
Don't care about her.
I just forgot the damn lady died. I didn't know till 2 weeks later.
What about Harvey? What if he dies?
No, Steve dies. I would put it at half-mast as well. I think that would be a terrible day.
It would be a bad day. Family Feud would have to end. I don't think they could do without him.
I don't think a Family Feud needs to ever be done by another host. There's not a single guy in the world that could pick up and do the general duties that Harvey does.
Well, Bun, I gotta take off here. Thanks for the town hall.
All right, baby. Well, I think I'm just gonna put this thing off. I'm a little bit overheated from the conversation that we had, and I just hope that I'm just gonna put it on the back burner. And quite frankly, I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna pretend like Pronghorn and Broccoli is just a bunch of jokesters, and I'll let you off as tricking me for a little bit and trying to get a rise out of me.
I'm sorry, Bun. I was
a
jokester.
But I never want to hear. I never want to hear that again.
I will never speak such blasphemy ever again.
Pronghorn, I'm not kidding. I never want to hear that out of your mouth again.
I'm sorry, sir. It will never happen again.
Or any ill spells on George W.
I will never have 3 thoughts of my own ever again.
What? Well, all right. Maybe for a little bit, let's give it a shot, and we'll see. And we'll see how it goes. And maybe next week or something, we'll come back and do another town hall about the same time.
Not talk about 9/11.